Hi, my name is Solo Goldfish, and I adore D&D. I'm playing it consistently for about the last 3 years, and I figured, hey, why not make my own guide to indoctrinate more people into this addiction hobby? Now, there are a myriad of other people with more in-depth guides and more experience and more game knowledge, but you aren't here because you want competence. You're here for a stupid stickfish to give you subpar advice for a game you're probably not that interested in, and the only reason why you're watching this video is because your neurodivergent friend that really wants you to get into the game sent it to you because it was funny enough, I hope, to keep you hooked till the end. Now, with all that said, let's get to the actual advice. Number 1. Before we even start thinking about making a character, let's talk lingo. D&D is full of weird lingo you're never gonna understand until someone tells you. So here I am to explain it for you before anyone else does. BBEG. Big Bad Evil Guy. Yeah, that's what it means. I thought they were joking too. They weren't. Trust me, bro. Your action. This is your main move. This is what you're going to use to attack, climb a tree, cast most of your spells, etc., etc. You only get one, so use it wisely. Unless you're a fighter and you action surge, then you get 2 per long rest.
What's a long rest? Or an action surge?
Let me get to that. God, impatient are you? Figment of my imagination letting me talk sheesh. Your bonus actions. You also get one of these a turn. This is an action to take alongside your action. They can be used for a few things. Casting some spells, shove somebody, grab someone, attack with a sidearm. They're small complementary actions to your main action. Some DMs, myself included, will let you drink a potion during this instead of using your full action. Free object interaction. You can also move an object without consuming your action or bonus action. Like tossing a rope, a torch, grabbing a cup, pass an item to a friend, open up a door, things like that.
Can I use it to throw something at someone?
No, that's your action.
But I can toss something to a friend?
Shut up with your logic, or I'll make all tossing an action. Long rest. This is your reset period. Restore all your health, your spell slots, certain classes can change your spell lists or prepare rituals, and artificers can work on their next war crime machine. Any rest 8 hours or above is considered a long rest.
Well, that's not very realistic. My warrior just healing after a short nap?
You know what else isn't realistic? Big flying lizards that shoot lightning out of their face. But here we are. Short rest. Honestly, I've probably used these about twice. Warlocks restore their spell slots during this time as well. You roll your hit dice to heal, so it's probably not going to be a full heal. Any rest that's shorter than 8 hours but longer than 4 is deemed a short rest. A nat 20. This is when you roll a 20, highest you can roll, no modifiers. This is good. This is very good. You're about to get the best possible outcome for anything you can do. Stealth, you're invisible. Hitting someone, they're about to get their fucking shit rocked.
I seduced the dragon.
No, you can't bang it. Nat 20s can't change the impossible to only the best possible outcome.
A dragon GF is the best outcome?
I hate you. Dirty 20. This is a modified 20. Like if you roll an 18 plus 2. That's dirty 20. Not the best outcome, but still, that's pretty much always going to be a success. That's very good, very good. Nat 1, natural 1. This is bad. This is very, very bad. This will give you the worst possible outcome. That baddie at the tavern, never gonna look in your direction again. That sword is about to shatter on that shield. You're about to jump over that chasm and eat absolute shit. You are about to have a very bad time. 31. This is bad, not the worst, but bad. If you rolled stealth, you're going to be about as discreet as Andrew Tate on women's rights. Acrobatics, get ready to trip on air. Strength, you have a better chance throwing a napkin at the prop. D whatever. These are your dice. D6 is the nerd way of saying a 6-sided dice. Normal dice, everyone has seen before. There's a number before it, that's how many of the dice you roll. Like, if you roll on tactic calls for 2d8, you roll 2 8-sided dice. AC, your armor class. This is how high an enemy needs to roll before they can hit you. You want this to be as high as possible, because if you're getting hit less often, you take less damage, which is always a good thing. Alright, now that we got all that out of the way, we can get started on this monstrosity. Now, it's a lot easier than it looks like.
Everyone says that.
Let me explain. God, shut up. Why did I write you into existence? Now, I'll be breaking this down as if you were doing it on pen and paper. If you use an online sheet organizer, most of this process is going to be automated. I personally use 5e Companion app. It's a huge help. With that said, onto the guide. This is a lot easier if you just break it down in chunks. Let's start over here in your stats panel. Strength, dexterity, or as we say most time, dex, constitution, also known as con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. You're going to roll these up at the start of your journey. You roll 4d6, or 4 6-sided dice, and you take away the smallest number. You add those 3 up and allocate it to one of your stats. And you just do that till all of your stats are full. You see this little circle under it? That's your actual modifier. 10 is the base, and each 2 above or below is a modifier of plus or -1. For example, 12 is a +1, 14 is a +2, etc., etc. With all that done, that leads us right into the skills block. All those modifiers you got here, move them into this. See how it says dex here? Move the modifier from dex over into this. Go down the list, and that mostly wraps this up. Those little circles here, those are for your skill proficiencies, which you get from the background you choose, your class, and any feats you might grab in the future. Everything else on this sheet is entirely class dependent, so I'll go over those more in depth in another video. Last thing I will cover here though is the health. Depending on your class, you're going to have different hit dice you'll need to roll. Fighter, yours are D10, making you a powerhouse in later levels. Wizard, D4, and a sneeze from a strong enough monster is going to obliterate you. Your first level, it's the highest it can possibly be. Wizard, your starting HP is 4. Fighters, 10. Not only this, you're going to go back to your stats and take your constitution modifier. You have a +2 here, fighters at 12, wizard is at 6. Same for the opposite, -2, fighters at 8, and wizard is at 2. Now, each level above first level, you roll for it, and you add your con modifier. Fighters roll d10s, wizards roll d4s. At my table, we have a house rule where we re-roll ones, and if it's less than half, you take half. That way, unlucky players aren't completely boned in combat. There is still a lot on this list. What are all the classes? What are subclasses? How do I choose equipment? What's proficiency? All of that is a lot more specific for each class. My next video is going to be on the typings of classes and the roles they fill in and out of the battlefield, and I'll talk a little bit more about it there. Until then, though, I do have a few tips. Talk to your DM. They're the storyteller. They likely have different interpretations than I do, or rules for their game. They might have you do point buy instead of rolling for stats. If you are ever confused about anything I talked about here, talk to them. If you have questions about proficiencies, items, hit dice, things like that, just look up your class, then put 5e behind it. First result should be the D&D 5e wikidot. I have been playing this game for 3 years now, and every time I level up or make a new character, I always have this tab open. It's incredibly helpful and has all of the information you could possibly need. I really do hope this all helped, and I have more coming out on the way. Anyway, this is Goldfish signing out, and catch you on the flip side.